Well, we got to get back to work on the camper this week. Tom got to work on the camper some more this week, which was awesome. I'm excited to get in there and do my part too, but right now it's all Tom reconstructing the floor. And we're also excited to show you how we're gonna totally reconfigure the bedroom, the master bedroom, so that's a little bit more functional for us. And then we also got a few different samples of vinyl plank flooring that we wanna put in, so we'll show you those and you can let us know which one you like best. And so again, we bought this camper about a month ago?
Probably.
We knew it had water damage in the floor, which now we know how to do water damage because our first camper had a water damaged floor.
We paid about 50% what it's valued at, which is the best way to buy something with water damage.
Right, so we bought it right, so we were totally okay fixing the floor.
Yeah.
So Tom finally got to start reconstructing the floor this week. So what you doing out here?
I've got a 2x4 up against the bottom of the camper under here that you can't see.
Okay.
So my plan is, right now these are all a little long so that I can hammer them up and it'll wedge up the trailer. Because right now what's happening is you have the floor and my pieces are kind of like this because I can't get it up high and the side up.
Yep.
So we'll glue it, then we'll jack it up so it'll all sit flat. Then we can build from there.
Then it'll dry in place level.
Yes, yep.
All right.
In theory.
In theory.
And it's 85% humidity today and 90 degrees.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty toasty in here.
it's worse in the camper.
I bet.
So the reason why it's worse in the camper is we only have 110 amps or 110 volts out here. Amps, volts, what is it? 110? Anyway, we don't have 30 amps. It must be 110. We only have it plugged into a 110 plug. It needs 30 amps to run the air conditioner, which we don't have out here. So,
yep.
So it's hot.
Yep.
I used cardboard templates to make these, and the beauty of using cardboard templates is you only have to cut the wood like once, maybe twice then. Okay. And then you can reuse the cardboard templates for the foam.
Oh, right.
So I just have to cut 2 inches off this end of all my cardboard templates, lay that on the foam, and then I can cut the foam out to fit here too. Because this tucks underneath the side rail of the camper by 2 inches. This is the rail that...
This is what was kind of sagging that you wanted to
This is what I want to jack up once I get this all glued down.
Yeah.
We'll jack that whole edge of the camper up, and then we'll put weight on this inside so it stays down. Mm-hmm. And then we'll progressively keep doing that for each layer.
Wow.
To try and keep it flat.
Yeah. That already looks so much better. And for those who are wondering, what was your trade background that makes it so this is actually right up your alley?
I was a pattern maker. So pattern makers, everyone's about to get lost.
It took me like 10 years to understand.
Everyone's about to get lost. Okay, ready? A pattern maker is somebody who makes tooling for foundries. Foundries make metal castings, and so a pattern maker makes the tool that makes the sand mold. And the sand mold is what you pour liquid metal into to create castings.
So you were like 2 steps before the actual castings?
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody ever understands it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. But it was very precise work and a lot of stuff like this.
Yeah, so back in the day, it was all done by hand. So you get really good at creating shapes dimensionally and just functionally.
Yeah.
And so this is super easy. I'm more OCD in the fact that I want this to be perfectly flat, and so I'm concerned with the jacking up part and getting it to all fit perfectly, because I know that it will bother me every day we use this camper if I can tell anything is not right.
Yep. And then I will hear about it all the time.
And then we'll sell it.
Then we'll have to sell it, and then we'll be back here again.
Pretty much. We're still waiting on parts for the play set to finish that. Mm-hmm. The deck, we're not going to talk about.
That's the deck. We finally did get all the parts to finish the deck, but it's not the priority right now because
you guys think it's done.
No, because we'd really like to get the camper put back together so we could still go camping this summer yet. So our hope is for Labor Day weekend to get away. Tom has a new nephew. Well, we have a new nephew on Tom's side that we'd like to go meet and do some camping. This is quite the system you engineered here.
Yep, I'm kind of proud of it.
So you got 2 layers down yesterday.
Yeah, I got the base layer of plywood down, and then I epoxied the foam down. And now we'll take all this off. We're gonna router. We're gonna get rid of all this stuff that's been wet. I bought a router with a bit that I can just eat away all the plywood, because this plywood is laminated from the factory, and so you can't like pry it off. It'll like tear the foam with it. So we're just gonna run a router over and just take all the wood off, leave the foam intact. So here's just, I set the depth of the cutting blade to the thickness of the new plywood, because the new plywood is just a hair thicker.
Okay.
So I'm able to take a touch of the foam off.
Nice.
So now we'll have a perfect joint.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then we'll go bigger, because I'm trying to overlap all my joints to create strength.
Yeah.
So we'll get rid of all this wood that's been wet. So yeah, so we get rid of this. And then the new layer of plywood will go over the aluminum beam. So we've epoxied the bottom one to it, the foam to it, and then we'll sheet over the top of the beam. Everything will be epoxied together.
Yeah.
Because the epoxy turns like rock hard.
Sure.
And it's good adhesion and moisture preventer.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully after today, at least this section of floor is done. I'm not sure if I'll get that back there all done, but this will be done today.
And so we'd actually seen on some other YouTube videos this different configuration for the bedroom, where it's the same style, where it has like those cabinets over the bed, and how they rotated the bed, and it really just seemed to open up the space more. Just coming out here to check on Tom again.
Yep, gotta check on me, otherwise I quit working, just like an employee.
Yeah. I'm just worried you're gonna pass out because it's so hot in here.
It's pretty hot in here.
I don't know if you're staying hydrated. No.
I'm actually not.
Okay, I should have brought water. So this side's not done, but over here you've got the top layer down.
Yep, and it's all epoxied and looking snazzy.
That looks awesome. So this is extra epoxy that looks wet right now.
Yeah, no, I brushed it over that just because it had some water damage on it, just like some surface stuff. So I figured, you know, just brush it over, let it seal it, because the epoxy will just create a hard shell that'll seal it up. So
far you're really happy with how hard everything is drying.
No. The epoxying the layers together is the key. It's creating a lot of strength.
Cool.
And then we're overlapping. So the plywood is the same size as the foam, and then I'm routering out extra, so that, and then I'm going to square this up, put a piece here, and then we're epoxying it way above and beyond.
We'll go further.
The top layer will go further than what everything else. And then there's aluminum beams under here. There's an aluminum beam under here. There's one under that front section, and then the steel bracing of the trailer's underneath there too. So with the boards underneath, the wedging on top, and all the epoxy, it's creating a pretty sturdy layer.
Yeah. And actually, with how we're planning to reconfigure this space, a lot of that won't even get walked on. So.
Right, because we're changing the layout.
So here's what we want to do. So how the bed was before. Do you want to show how the bed was oriented? I mean, you can kind of tell where the headboard is.
So the bed, your pillows were here.
And it wasn't a full-size queen.
No, it was smaller than a regular queen. I don't know if it was a double, but it was smaller than a queen. I would like a full-size queen. My feet hang off even a queen bed. So I would like a little bigger of a bed.
Yeah, so this matches his feet, like we're way off.
Well, actually, I think if I laid on it, my feet were like pressing against the wall.
The wall, and the mattress didn't go all the way to the wall.
Right.
So what we've seen done in other campers similar to this is where they actually rotate the bed 90 degrees, and what we would have to do is take down that cabinetry around Tom. So we would leave this one because a full-size queen mattress would just bump up to it then.
Yeah, from that wall to this wall is a queen mattress size.
So we would take down the cabinetry over Tom's head right now, and then instead we would put some drawers down here.
Yeah, so I have one of them put together. Do you want me to grab it or not?
Yeah, do you want to grab that and we'll show them what we're thinking?
Sure, I'll just stop what I'm doing for you guys.
And I think make it a little more functional. I always think drawers are better for storage.
Yeah, so actually the ones we had seen, they hiked the beds like way high.
Yeah.
It's higher than what I would want, but I like the idea of what he was doing.
Yep.
And so I think we're taking his idea and kind of putting our own spin on it.
So this is one set of drawers, and we would have 4, right? Do 4
Correct.
fit?
Yeah, we'd have 4 of them. They'd come up to the wall over here.
Okay.
So it'd be 4 drawers, or 4 wide this way, so it'd be 8 drawers. There's an electrical plug here that I would route. I'd make a spacer between one section, so we have a plug-in in between a section.
Yep.
And then same on the end here, we'd have a plug-in coming out the cabinet. And then this is a cold air return.
Oh, okay.
That we'd make a little nook so we can throw shoes in from the side. And this would just poke out this side too.
Yeah.
I have the cap and everything, but so yeah. So the idea is this is the bedroom door. The bed's here, and then this other opening that's over here. We're gonna cap this off.
Yeah, so if you can see through all of Tom's little, it reminds me of like a Jenga game or something, or like, I don't know what kind of game, the pick-up sticks or something.
The engineer in me loved creating this. This was very fun.
It looks good. But that, what was an opening behind there, we would close that off. And Tom actually moved that little wall. You moved it forward a few inches. Yeah, it's not.
It's not, because I'm pushing up on the ceiling, it's loose right now. I moved it forward probably 2.5 inches. And right now it's in the same spot. We're gonna slide it that way a little bit too. But because of my boards right here, it's just loosely sitting here. So that buys us a couple more inches in the bedroom.
So the drawers have, then the drawers open very like comfortably, not hard to get around them.
We just need to make sure we don't move it forward beyond the slide, because the slide comes right in front of this.
So it'll move forward and to the left just a little bit, which makes the then one opening to the bedroom just a little bit bigger.
Yep.
And then we're gonna put like a sliding door on the back side of it, right?
Sliding door here, yeah, like one slide door. That'll be a full wall. And then I'll pull the thermostat off of here and I'll put it to the front of the wall.
So our ideal was to keep the mattress where it didn't really cover up the window.
Right.
And so keeping it right below there. So I think where we're at with these IKEA drawers, I think it's gonna put us, we could still put a 10 or 12 inch mattress on it, and it'll still put us like right at the window.
Well, it'll put the mattress at the window, but then like your pillows will go up higher, obviously.
Yeah, which that I don't think is too big of a deal. And there is a window on both sides, so we're not really gonna be blocking it too much.
The thing I like about it is like on a regular basis, for as far as clothes, what we currently use and what I think, like Dawn said, drawers are so much better for all of our stuff. But we're still leaving that one little hanging section.
Yeah.
So if we want to hang like 5 or 6 things up there while we travel, we can.
Yeah.
Which would be like everything we own.
Well, that's just it. I'm like, if we hang stuff, we won't have stuff to put in the drawers, or if we like, so I don't know. I kind of thought maybe we'd even just put some shelves in that one hanging section too. But Tom's looking at me like I have 2 heads, so probably we wouldn't. We'll probably just leave it alone. So
leave it alone, Dawn.
Anyway.
Less is more.
Wow, it feels so much bigger in here now.
That's good.
Tom doesn't ever care. But I'm happy.
That's all that matters.
What do you think? Do you care at all?
I like it.
Yeah. You're the tall one. You probably appreciate the headspace more than I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna like it a lot better when we have this thing hooked up to a 30 amp breaker and I can have the AC running.
Yeah, that would probably make the biggest difference right now.
Yes, it would.
No, it feels like 4 times as big in here right now, I feel.
I don't think it's that much bigger.
That's okay.
Anybody want a headboard?
Yeah, free headboard.
You can have that cabinet I just threw out too.
We haven't quite decided what we're gonna do with the lights. I think one would be nice, but I don't know. I guess we probably just are gonna have both, right?
I guess. Oh, look at that. You don't even know it was there.
Nice. But I couldn't believe, after you pulled out those cabinets around the bed, it made it feel so much bigger. It's kind of hard to tell on video to get a grasp of the scale, but it just felt so much more open. It felt bigger, more spacious. So I don't know. I think we're really gonna like it.
I think we're gonna like it too.
Whew, it is like a sauna in here. So we want to show you real quick so we can turn the fan back on. Our flooring choices that we picked out. It's always amazing to me how different they look in the store compared to once we get them into here.
Yeah, you had actually just asked me which one of these we put in. One of these floors we put in the old camper, and Dawn actually asked me. She's like, "Well, which one did we do?"
Yeah, I couldn't even tell.
The darkest one is what we put in the old camper, and that was really light in that camper. So we thought.
Well, yes and no. We kind of went back and forth because we thought it was a little dark in there,
Right.
but ultimately it was the best we could find at the time. We saw this one in the middle, and it looked trendy, gray, light in the store, but in here I don't really care for it. And then this one we found, it was actually on clearance.
Yep.
And it's meant to look like a hickory wood. So it's not gray like most of the trendy ones right now, but I think that's kind of the one we're leaning towards.
Yeah, no, if it was my choice, I would go with the lightest one. Granted, though, now saying that, I do remember that, like, we bought that darkest floor for the old camper, and then when we painted the entire camper and put that floor down, we were like, oh, this is...
It did look really cool once it was all painted.
Right, but like, so I love this floor right now, but I'm actually now wondering when we paint this whole camper, well, I mean, if we paint this whole camper.
We will. It's
okay,
when,
fine.
yeah.
When we paint this whole camper, will we still love this floor, or will it look...
Like too light?
Too cold or something? I don't know.
Yeah, and I do want to put a little more color in this camper, so I like that it's a little more neutral. I mean, really, I feel like you could go with any kind of color palette with it.
Yeah.
And what kind of wood is it that it mimics?
I think it's supposed to be hickory is what they're calling it.
Okay.
Yeah, Highland hickory.
So our other thought with it that we kind of liked is that Tom had the idea, we want to do something with this trim around the slide.
Yeah, we want to tear all this off.
So Tom was like, well, if we go with like that hickory floor, then we could get some real hickory wood and add some trim and some accents with that.
Maybe make it look like a hickory beam or something like that. Yeah.
Which I think that would look really cool. And I like that it looks like a little bit rustic, but not too rustic. Like you get a little bit of like a cabin feel, but not over the top. But I don't know, looking at these gray ones, in here right now, I don't like any of them. So I would definitely vote for the hickory. It's a little bit wider plank. And it's a little bit better quality.
Yeah, it's a nicer floor than we've ever touched.
It's way nicer than what's in our house right now.
Yeah,
but,
way nicer.
But it's not a ton of square footage, and it was on clearance, so so that could be a really good option. Yep. So those are our options right now. It's kind of fun that Tom has the floor. I mean, you're a good chunk of the way done on the floor.
Yeah,
so.
actually the reason the floor is not done is I need to go get some more plywood.
Yeah. Bummer. It's just always something.
Like I feel like I can sit here and watch the sweat ooze out of my skin.
So probably we'll get Tom some water and then we'll send him to the home improvement store.
I like him.
And then I'm gonna have you grab a gallon of the primer because I'm only gonna try and like paint the bedroom area.
Okay.
And get that done before we go camping. The rest is everything else. Tom's gonna put flooring down hopefully, but the rest of this all is just, it is gonna stay for now, which is totally fine because we just want to get camping again. And it still surprises me, like really in the store, I really liked those gray floorings. And then we got them in the camper and they just, I don't know, they look kind of like grungy and
yeah, I think for a different space they would look good, but I don't like them in there.
Yeah, so I think probably the hickory is what we'll go with unless you all like totally think a different direction.
Hickory, it was my idea.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care whose idea it is. I really like it. We're thinking we're gonna do like a green, like a dark green or blue or something on like the lower cabinets and...
What?
I'm thinking for a color scheme.
Dark green?
Okay, well, we'll talk about that some more.
I'm a big fan of blues.
Oh, blues. I could go blue.
Okay.
I think any of those colors would look really nice with that floor. And then we could do a little darker on the bottom cabinetry, but the floor is light. And so, anyways, we're going to do it a little bit differently than our last camper, which I think will be fun. So, I think the hickory would look good. And I like Tom's idea of doing some like hickory accents in other places. And while Tom is out working in the camper, the kids and I are gonna make a pumpkin bundt cake. Because you saw we have those extra cans of pumpkin, but we're also going to my parents for dinner tonight. and my cousin's coming over, so I thought, well, what a perfect excuse to make something pumpkin flavored. But here is what's so great about this pumpkin bundt cake is literally a 7 and 9-year-old can make it. Corbin and Maggie wanted to help, but you just dump all of the ingredients into the mixer. So I'll put the recipe down below. It is seriously so easy, and you do not need a fancy bundt cake pan. We got this on Amazon for around $10. I have to believe I've made at least 50 bundt cakes with this, and they turn out perfectly. And what else is really fun is that the Saratoga peanut butter company, they have their pumpkin flavored peanut butter out right now, which I hear, we haven't got to try it yet, but I hear it's awesome on like oatmeal, toast, I mean anything. I would probably eat it out of the jar with a spoon. So what we want to do is we want you to share your favorite pumpkin recipes or favorite thing you eat that is pumpkin flavored. If you share it down below, they are giving away a gift pack with their pumpkin peanut butter and chocolate peanut butter. And then Tom and I are gonna give away 2 bundt cake pans, because I'm telling you, until you try making these bundt cakes, like, you just don't know what you're missing out. And seriously, you can make these. My only tip with it, if you do make one of these, is you really want to err on the side of undercooking it. So if you put a toothpick or a knife in to see if it's done, it should have just a little bit on it when it comes out. It should not come out clean. Then you've cooked it a little bit too long. So for our oven, it's like 49 minutes is perfect. So err on the shorter side and keep track like what your oven likes, and just always do that same time, and they always turn out perfect. It's just, they're great. So I also have 2 other favorite pumpkin recipes. Our pumpkin dump cake. That's actually Tom's favorite. The bundt cake is mine, dump cake is Tom's. Super easy. Anytime I share a recipe, it's always gonna be very easy to do. And then we also have some cream cheese stuffed pumpkin muffins. These take a little bit longer, but they're still easy, and they are so good. If you wanna bring a treat to like work or anything like that, they're so good. So those are my favorite pumpkin recipes. So share your favorite pumpkin recipes or favorite pumpkin flavored things down below. You will be entered to win. We'll put all the details in the description. So basically what we want to get done then before we can go camping, Tom's going to finish epoxying the floor and getting the rest of the layers on, laying down the vinyl floor. You'll have to frame in.
We have to frame up that wall first, sheet that.
Build in the drawers, build up a little bit of a frame that the mattress will sit on, order a mattress.
I love how she says, oh, there's just a few things that we need to do.
I wasn't saying that. I didn't say that. There's a lot, there's quite a few things that need to get done before we could actually go camping.
And get a mattress. We don't have a mattress either.
So we have 2 weeks. We always do like give out these deadlines. So we'll just see. If it gets done, it gets done. If not, we don't really have a choice. If not, it has to get done. So.
Yeah, it'll get done. It's never not gotten done before.
It's true. So that's our plan for the weekend, is to keep plugging away at that. We would love to know what you're up to this weekend. And if it's really hot and sweaty where you are, because I think it's supposed to be hot through the weekend here too. So yep. Tom might have to get that outlet plugged in so we can have air conditioning, or wired in so we can have AC out there.
I wanted to get the floor all done before I moved the camper to where I can put AC in it.
Yeah, so might add that to the list too. But we love you. We hope you have a really great weekend, and we will look forward to visiting with you again soon.
Bye-bye.